Now start beyond the public life, strategic vision for true freedom and technological synergy. You will see return temple Magok. It's very beautiful. We are thinking for the future. It's very beautiful. And the music hidden. That is very beautiful. And next to here. Now, let us discuss transcendental experience and the posture required to prepare for elegant future strategies within an enterprise in part 1. We examine the Magoksa temple. We stay through a video and presentation viewed as a source of high-level spiritual inspiration, a hallmark of UNESCO-recognized Korean K-culture. What should we explore next in part 2? Let us use my own life as an example. Our situations are likely very similar, whether one is an intellectual, a professor, a CEO, or office worker. Just a moment. It's also very we're hearing the temple Magok's sounds. It's very important. Yes. It's very sound, big sound. It's spiritual. And we are, our situation are likely very similar at the start, whether one was an intellectual, professor, CEO, or an office worker. Unless you are an owner, we are all essentially salaried employees. Whether you are CEO, an artist, or a musician, we all live with our feet firmly planted in the reality economic activity, and we must never ignore that reality. We are born into this world, receive a compulsory education, and learn the dynamics of collective life through schooling. Upon graduation, we enter society, join an organization, and engage in economic pursuits to sustain our livelihood. It's very important because very important. For example, we see for example, we checking the this attestation, University of Paris, teaching in post-doctor course during 6 months, and university lab, and I 30 years after we give me the congratulation symbol and PhD in University of Paris Sorbonne's thesis, and Samsung Project Foundation. I'm signed with the project, and University Paris Sorbonne support, and it's very important. Some later another show reference photo. As we are through this process, we embark on the life cycle, getting married and having children. While some choose to remain single, most build their lives within the framework of marriage. Even in cases like France, where cohabitation or civil contracts are common, these eventually fall under the broader umbrella of marriage. In any case, once we marry and have children, we take our responsibility for them, supporting them until they can stand on their own financially. Of course, in Western societies, it is common a cut of support once a child graduates from high schools, telling them you are on your own now. While that is the Western mindset, I do not believe it is necessarily the best approach. I believe parents should maintain a sense of responsibility, devotion, and sacrifice, providing a certain level of economic support when their children graduate, get married, or start their careers. Without such a commitment, wouldn't the world succumb to pure egoism and individualism? Although that way of life is popularized in the West, I do not view it entirely positive. Everyone goes through a life cycle, and in my case, my public life have been particularly distinct. After finishing graduate school in Korea, I moved into France, where I completed my doctoral studies and obtained my degree from institutions such as Paris University, Panthéon Sorbonne, and Vincennes, and Paris 10 University Nanterre. Following this, I served as professor at Sorbonne University. Later, I was appointed as a visiting professor at Middlesex University in London, where I spent 2 years conducting research while living with my family. During that time, I also visited institutions like Harvard University in New York, Boston, Columbia also, to balance lecturing with travel. For example, we are photo. For example, we are checking this. Checking another photo is very important also. For example, this university checking. Example, we are checking the especially formation, University of Paris. Very especially. For example, this book also I publication this book. Là c'est l'Europe accélérateur de échange mondiaux. C'est bon nom and prénom, Kim, Europe, accelerator, Deschangje Mundio. I think it's very, very important now times Asia and Europe, because in crisis, Iran, Iraq, the petrol war, Trump is very, very complex, and I very, very explain. And the second books also, these books, second books, my name is first, second times, two books already I'm publishing, and this time also I'm new publication my books, and very, very important for many books, but I am explain. And opening returning to Korea, I personally established a global international trade major at a 4 years university, and have spent over 30 years pioneering the department alongside my colleagues. I have led industry, academic, cooperation project, and delivered lectures at prestigious French grandes écoles such as HEC and ESFP. Furthermore, I officially taught doctoral course at Paris 10 University for over 6 months. And addition, I have spearheaded economic cooperation project the University of Le Havre and ESFP HEC Paris. I have also published more than 2 books. Already I'm explained. Each nearly 300 pages long, through the renowned French publishing house Le Harmattan. I will share photos and videos of these publications with you later. I'm checking. In Korea, I have published over 15 solo authors books and served as a university professor for more than 30 years. In total, I have dedicated about 40 and 45 years to an academic life, engaging in professional economic activities as a tenured professor. Throughout this journey, I have spearheaded various initiatives such as funding projects with Samsung Electronics, industry academic cooperation with LG Display, and educational partnership with UNESCO. Furthermore, I have constantly collaborated and projected with leading corporations including Hyundai, Kia Motors, SK Telecom, SK Hynix, Korean Air, and Hanwha, formerly Korea Explosive Group, which is currently accelerating in this defense industry. I also organized semiconductor seminars related to Alcatel in the French cities of Lannion and Lens in Brittany region. Notably, during the construction of TGV high-speed train to Korea, I played a key role in proposing strategic alternative between Korea and France. For over 3 decades, I have devoted myself to these economic activities, filtering both the rights and the duty of a professional academic. Now, having reached retirement, I feel that I have finally attained absolute freedom. It's very, very important. Absolute freedom is not free. We are very, very important, because excellent life is very not easy, but we are very, very important. It's very hard. It's very important. And then also it's very important. For example, absolute freedom is not free. Where contribution to life is very, very hard work. and we are very hard work and very strong work, and very important is very hard work and very long walk, and also it's very important hard work and very repetition everyday lives is very important. And then of course one could continue a chair professor or an emeritus professor after retirement. However, for some time, someone like me who has been founded to this institution of the university for over 30 years, is it truly necessary to remain within the same framework in this one life? While this is matter of personal value and choice, I personally do not aspire to that kind of life. Rather, I believe it is far more essential to attain absolute freedom, independence, and present a truly balanced and sustainable model for life. This is precisely why I have shared these sample portals and materials with you, whether in the West, Europe, and in the US, or in Asia. The meaning of securing freedom after a public career is profoundly significant, while there is certainly value of digging a single well and reaching the absolute pinnacle of that field. It's very important. Once you have reached that summit, you must adopt a perspective that looks toward the new world and reflect on the true significance of achieving complete liberation. Typically, many people dig a single well only to become trapped within it. While that is a matter of personal judgment, I believe that being consumed a single field for lifetime can lead to narrow perspective. It inevitably limits one's ability to build a broad and diverse network. This is where the fragility and limitations of modern intellect are revealed. While specialization has its merit, I have felt this deeply through the current energy crisis and pandemics area, as I have emphasized repeatedly in my university lectures since the energy crisis 40 years ago. We must practically prepare alternative to overcome such crises. Compensatory is very briefing around where the next crisis inevitably takes loose. The elite institutions such as Harvard, Oxford, Sorbonne, and the Grand École must lead by constantly proposing alternative and demonstrating a proactive stance to overcome future crises. However, the competitive intellectual world seems less powerful than expected, observing the recent tensions between the US and Europe. Conflict between the US and Iran, I already explained, and the heated exchange between the Pope and President Trump. I am once again reminded of the clear limitation of modern intellect. Very limited. Therefore, our intellectual model must become more formidable. They should after aggressive alternative based on firm worldview, yet their current influence appears weak. It is only when we break free from organizational constraints through the true attainment of freedom that we can embrace diverse experience and develop a broad vision. This reflects what I felt during my industry academic cooperation with UNESCO. While uncovering and disseminating cultural heritage is important, what the world truly needs now is not merely politicians but great statesmen who can harmonize the global community and present powerful models to overcome complex crises. It's very, very important. Why we not overcome this conflict? Very, very we think about most we are thinking about thinking. You're checking. You're checking. University Party 2. I protection the professor. University Party 2 is Britain. I pay Sécurité Sociale. It's over. And by example, on the University Party 13, professor, and Party 13, Faculté de Sciences Économiques et de Gestion is from me, and the university USFP I lecture my presentation, my lecture in student USFP Karangji. Also another example, department analyst of development, and I visiting professor in London, business schools, Middlesex University. Example. Professor came sponsorship of Middlesex University Business School. I have Kim long time. And UNESCO also I contract UNESCO, Korean National Commission of UNESCO, and the article sign of my name, Kim Hee-il, and the signature is very, very hard work. And it's Korean language display, LG display, academic and Korean my name is also, and Granjikol OSFP projection cooperation with professor or group OSFP, and with me I cooperation for Asia and Europe's project. It's a very, very activity for long times. But now, and the European case illustrates this clearly. During my tenure as a tenured professor at the University of Paris, you are checking a photo, I observed severe immigration issues. The United Kingdom, France, and Germany, developed nations including France, generally tend to avoid difficult and arduous labor. To address this, France imported a massive workforce from its former colonies in the Maghreb region, such as Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco, and the other African nations. Similarly, Germany accepted Turkish immigrants, and the UK relied labor from India and Pakistan to handle demanding jobs. While this might have been necessary to secure a workforce without a multi-choice strategy, it inevitably leads to social confusion. This is because It asked whether these immigrants have truly integrated and harmonized with their host societies. Answer is resounding no. It's important. And we must seriously reconsider our approach to immigration. Also, Korea has now joined the ranks of advanced nations. We are treating the exact same path that Europe once did. As many university graduates avoid arduous labor, foreign workers from Southeast Asia, Mongolia, and Kazakhstan are filling the void. While labor inherently healthy and noble, the tendency to avoid specific occupations is becoming deeply entrenched in our society in France. The fluctuation of second-generation immigrants eventually boiled over, leading to flagrant terrorist incidents with extremist groups exploiting their sense of alienation. We too must prepare in advance to prevent such social conflicts from escalating into national disaster. As seen in the attacks in London, Europe continued to suffer from these deep-seated issues. Fortunately, Korea has not yet experienced such extreme events, but we must view the immigration issue through the lens of a broader worldview. It is time for the established intellectual models to point the right direction toward integrated world. In the case of Japan, they maintained a highly closed policy despite an increasing number of migrants from countries like the Philippines. However, I do not believe that such exclusivity or extreme individualism provide the ultimate answer. This where the importance everywhere religion and spirituality comes into play. In major European cities like Paris, London, and Berlin, individualism has reached its extreme, while the intellectual elite may be an exception. Many ordinary citizens are suffering from profound loneliness, often falling into traps of alcohol or drug abuse. We must not lose sight of community-based religion, communal care, and compassion for our neighbors as vital alternatives. While the importance of spirituality should have evolved as a multi-faced way, the recent response to energy crisis triggered by the conflicts like the one between the US and Iran revealed the utter helplessness and limitation of modern intellect. Yet, paradoxically, in this crisis presents US with a new opportunity. Win chance. Very, very important. We have a chance. But crisis every time. For example, I have busy many architecture is very important. Is Munich in Germany. For example, is Zurich, Swiss. Is Munich City Hall. Is Paris Opera. I have many times visited opera. It's very beautiful. Why? Individualism and immigration confusion. Is another Munich opera. Is Seine beautiful in Paris night. Opera night. Is Notre Dame is construction fire depth construction. Opera. And we are another, by example, another photo. By example, another photo. Is already explained. another photo. Is Paris Odeon cinema, where every life is European is very like cinema, and Panthéon in near the Sorbonne University, Paris. Intellectual streets is very thinking street, and Paris in Eiffel Tower symbol in Paris, and Arc de Triomphe is very important for signal in Paris. Panthéon Sorbonne is this in Paris, very important, but we are very complicated and very complex. For example, let us leverage the energy crisis and opportunity to examine the limitation of global giants like Samsung Electronics and their escape strategies. Through my experience managing funding projects for Samsung Electronics, you are checking the photo. I observed the professional managers, CEOs, and executive face and structural limitations in pursuing radical innovation or crisis management because they are ultimately hired employers. My experience is very important. Therefore, the owner and the states should have joined force to present a powerful model, but they have failed to do so until now. However, the current energy crisis is undeniably an opportunity. For instance, Samsung Electronics possesses world-leading semiconductor technologies like HBM, and Samsung SDI holds top-tier battery technology. In this world-class enterprises share and cooperate with the nuclear power expertise of Korea Electronic Power Corporation (KEMCO). They can create independent energy alternatives. As I have proposed in my reports, we must combine small modular reactor (SMR) technology with battery technology to miniaturize then integrate it with global automakers such as Hyundai Motors or Mercedes-Benz. Why not? By equipping vehicles with SMR-based energy, we can enable a driving experience that requires charging for replacement only once a year, while building an innovative automotive ecosystem that constantly exchanges data through communication network and the internet. We should have already established a system that manages and controls energy via smartphone linked smart key. It is not too late. We must not act now. It is now. Very important. It is time to cultivate strategic capabilities to lead the global energy market through SMRs. What we need now is a grand governance model at the national policy level that encompasses KEMCO, Samsung Electronics, and Hanwha, which possess world-class defense capabilities. If the key players collaborate organically and contemplate these issues together, we will create immense synergy beyond imagination. This is core strategy I wish to emphasize today. Thank you.